how do we plug a BloodHound signal into BlackBird? And then, then Vic is going to manually manage the orders, the profit target, and the stop loss himself. Okay. All right. Let me change my data feed to the simulated. Next, let's get BlackBird up on the chart. There's BlackBird. And for most people, all that you'll need to do is just enable BlackBird. Pretty much the default settings will work for most people here. So just a little reminder, if you are wanting to do some back testing, just remember to enable the backtest mode there. All right. So backtest mode is off by default, just to save some load time, right? So if NinjaTrader doesn't have to do any back testing, then that will allow BlackBird to load up on the chart just a little quicker. All right, so let's click OK. All right, and also, let's see, for Vic's question here, I need to change the bar types. Let's see here. Yeah, so we're going to take the BloodHound file from yesterday's workshop and plug it into BlackBird here for Vic. So let's see. All right. So yesterday we were using Renko bars here. So we were actually using the Pro Renko, but you could use the Uno Renko as well if you wanted to. All right. Let's see here. All right. Let's get that bars adjusted there. And let's see, also I need to make an adjustment to BlackBird as well. So Vic, correct me here if my assumption is wrong, but yesterday we were running BloodHound with Calculate. So let's disable this here. So yesterday we were running BloodHound with Calculate set to on price change. So I'm going to assume that you want to do the same for BlackBird so that you get the same signal behaviors. So yes. Okay, good. Just let me know yes. All right. So so we have the Calculate set to on price change. So what this does, so for anybody who's not familiar with the Calculate does, right? So this is a NinjaTrader setting, right? Everything in the setup section here, these are all NinjaTrader settings. All right. So essentially, the only settings that belong to BlackBird are the ones that you see open right now, right? So only the strategy template and the options are actually BlackBird settings. Everything else, all the ones that are closed right now, all these, the data series, the setup, the historical fill process, order handling, order properties, those are all NinjaTrader settings. All right, so so if you're wanting to learn, what all these NinjaTrader settings do, then that's all available in NinjaTrader's documentation. So yeah, so you won't find the setup stuff and the historical field processing. You won't find that on our website because those are not our settings. Those are NinjaTrader settings. So you'll find the documentation for this on NinjaTrader's help in NinjaTrader's help guide there. So all right. So anyway, so this Calculate, what this does is it fundamentally changes how things run on your chart. Right. So typically most people would run BlackBird or run their trade system with Calculate on bar close. And so as the term says, on bar close, that means that basically BlackBird will only do its calculations when the bar closes. It's not going to do any calculations as the bar is building here. Right. So we can see the bar on the far right, it's in the middle of building, but no calculations will be done. However, if we change this Calculate to on price change, then what NinjaTrader is doing is it's forcing BlackBird to do some calculations, and that also in turn tells BloodHound to do some calculations whenever the price changes, right? So as price is ticking up and down, internally, BloodHound and BlackBird are doing various calculations, such as indicator calculations, right? So essentially, the on-price change setting would allow signals to occur intra-bar, right, or while the bar is building. Instead of waiting for the bar to close for a signal, you can now get a signal when the price changes, or intra-bar while the bar is building. Okay, so let's put that up on there, and let me add a little more margin to my chart there. It's kind of how I like it. Okay, so let's see. First step here is, once we have BlackBird loaded, we're going to hit the order settings button down here on the bottom right, and that's going to open up BlackBird for us. And let's see here. Vic didn't mention the type of entry order. Let me just double check here. Yeah, he didn't mention the type of entry order, so we'll just assume it's going to be a market entry order. And of course, if you want something different, that's easy to change, right? You can just open up the entry order here and just change the type from a market to whatever you want to use. A limit or a stop entry, whatever type you would like to use. Easy to change there. And let's see here. So the profit target, you would just like to have a simple 20 tick profit target. So I'll set up this, we'll use the 10 tick to get one started here, and then open up the profit target, go into the initial placement here, and adjust that up to 20 ticks. So there we go. There's our profit target. And the stop loss, he would like that to be a 10 tick. So I'll just put 10 tick in there. All right, and we're done. So there's the order sets. All's done. Now, if you want to trade more contracts, right, the number 1 is the number of contracts. So you can just increase the number of contracts if you like. Pretty simple. All right, and so now the key here to Vic's question is setting up BloodHound here. So we're going to open up, click on the signals here, and we'll click on the BloodHound signals here. All right, and then we'll open this up. First thing we want to do is we want to load in the BloodHound file here, right? Load in that template file. So we can click the ellipses button there, and we'll go, and you can see, right? So now we have BloodHound's little interface open here. So let's go to File, and it just so happens there is yesterday's BloodHound workshop file. So if you don't see the file on this little quick list, then you can just use the open, right? Click the open and then go find your BloodHound file. So here it is right there. All right, and I'm going to take a look at the logic templates here. So here is the logic template that we built yesterday. It's the 5-tick Renko tail. And I just wanted to make sure that it was left with the solver here that compares the close of the current bar to the open price of the previous bar. And yet this is still connected up here. Good. So, and as a little tip here, guys, I would recommend that when you are loading BloodHound files into BlackBird, that you do take a look at the logic board to make sure that things are connected up the way they should be. So in yesterday's workshop, as I was kind of doing the training and showing various things, who knows, I might have left this system like this. I might have left it connected like this in a previous state. So it's always good to check. But if I remember correctly yesterday, Vic wanted to use this this solver down here instead of the other two solvers here. So, all right, so we verified that our logic is connected up correctly. So we'll just click OK now. And then down here, the next step is the entry signal template. So we'll go down here and select the 5-tick Renko tail. So that's the logic template. That's the BloodHound logic template that we're going to use. All right, there we go. And then, of course, there's a few options. If you want to show BloodHound on the chart, then you can just leave that checked. If you don't want BloodHound to be on the chart, then you can just uncheck that. Right, and then, of course, you can turn on and off the racing stripes as well. So, yeah, and of course, if you don't have BloodHound on the chart, then the racing stripes will not show up either. So, right, in order to have racing stripes on the chart, you do have to have BloodHound on the chart as well. All right, and let's see, that is it. So let's see here. Let's save this. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna hit the save and close. And we'll give this a name here. There's a name for today's, or for this, a name for this setup here. Save it. All right. And then we can, well, actually, I'm going to leave that off. You'll notice there's a little message down here. It says, restart the strategy to display BloodHound, right? So Ninja doesn't have the ability to add the BloodHound or any indicator on the chart, automatically. So NinjaTrader requires us to basically reload NinjaScript, or hit F5 to reload the chart to reload BlackBird so that BloodHound could be put on the chart. There we go. All right, you'll notice BloodHound's on the chart down here, but BloodHound's also on the price panel. So you notice the prices are squished here. So yeah, for some reason we can't get Ninja to put BloodHound on its own subpanel where it should be. So what you can do is you can click on BloodHound down here, right? You can see the little dots telling you it's highlighted, and then you can click and drag it. So you can drag BloodHound down to the bottom, and you see that little blue highlight on the chart. So you can now let go of the mouse when you see that blue highlight. What you're doing is you're dragging BloodHound's output to its own subpanel. Right, there we go. So now we can see BloodHound's on its own subpanel. So, all right, and one other step here, you'll see BloodHound's on the chart here, right, the blue, but you'll see the text is in blue, right? That BloodHound button is blue now. So that tells you that that is BloodHound coming from BlackBird, right? If the text was white, then that would be BloodHound added to the chart as its own indicator. But if it's blue, it's telling you it's BloodHound coming from within BlackBird. Oh, no. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the logic template menu and put it on the logic template that's being used for the signals. Right. So there we go. And let's move this forward to the current chart there, to the current bar. All right, so let's see. Let's enable the Auto Trader button, and Vic, if you want, you can manually enable and disable long trades only. So like right now, only long signals can be taken. Or I should say BlackBird will only take long signals, or you can enable just short only signals there. So I'll leave them both on, and let's pull the market down here. And as soon as price comes down, so the way the BloodHound signals was set up is price needs to move one tick below the open of the previous bar here, right? So we need to go one tick below the arrow, and there you go. There, just tick down, and there was our entry. So there we go. All right, pretty simple to do. So yeah, so the key here, right, really the main key to getting this to work the way, to get it to work in real time, right? So that's kind of the key to this question. Is Vic wants the signals to occur and the trade to be entered in while the bar is building, right? Before the bar closes. All right, so the key was in the strategy settings here. So if we go to the strategy window here, right? So the key, if we click on BlackBird down here, the key was this calculate setting here, setting it to on price change. So that was the key to getting this behavior that Vic wanted there.